Episode 29. NBA playoffs are currently going on. The Suns just advanced to the Western Conference Finals, and we still have 3 series going.
It's a tragedy. Jokic got swept.
The MVP got swept.
Compazzo didn't have his 20 and 10 game. I gotta buy you a pack of Gushers.
Oh, yeah, man. Tough run for the Denver Nuggets. They did get probably the easiest first-round series out of everybody in the playoffs, being Portland.
Yeah, probably.
Arguably, because we already know what they are, Dame and CJ, but other than that, they never have the defensive firepower to ever stop anybody, it seems like.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, I'd like to see the Blazers be good, you know?
Right, but it seems like the end of the Blazers is coming soon. It's inevitable for them. Small market, couldn't build around Dame properly, couldn't get him the right second guard around him.
Facts, yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. And Denver got swept. Phoenix, are they the truth? Are they not the truth? We'll see. Going up against the next series. Hopefully they finally get a healthy opponent in the playoffs. That's what I want to see.
I think Phoenix is like a white lie. You know what I mean? Not like they're not phonies.
Right? But you still haven't seen them go to their full potential yet.
Yeah, exactly. You know
Play
what I mean?
against their full strength squad.
Yeah.
Because obviously LeBron was injured all round one, and AD missed a couple games here and there. And then last round, obviously, arguably one of the more important pieces to that Denver offense, probably the second most important to that team, Jamal Murray, who in the playoffs is a different animal. They missed him, and Denver got swept.
I think Phoenix is gonna this next series. I think they're gonna really prove themselves. Like I have faith in them. You know, especially with a healthy Chris Paul. If they can keep playing good, keep playing good defense. You know,
right?
Like especially that rim protection from DeAndre Ayton. I think he did an amazing job. Playing Jokic as good as anybody can do.
But whoever they get next series, it's not going to be around the big man, which they've been really having to stick down on the last 2 series.
Yeah.
It's going to be next series is going to be amazing because if they get it, obviously it's tied up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers Jazz, but if they go against the Clippers, PG and Kawhi are going to be sticking book and CP3 that whole series.
Oh yeah.
2 of the best, and you're going to have Pat Bev barking over there too.
No, right.
But those are three great defenders over there. And that's going to be hard for them to stick with. Granted, the first 2 series, Lakers were the number 1 defensive team in the league. Nuggets are a great defensive team, but neither team had great defensive guards on either side of the ball for Lakers or Nuggets. Caruso, KCP, those guys are just 3-and-D defenders, nothing elite. Same with
Aaron
Gordon, who got cooked by the end of the series, who looked unplayable. Teams have to be careful. Getting bad players on good players on bad teams is not the answer to win a championship. No. The Nuggets learned that this year with Aaron Gordon, but
I feel like
Compazzo,
he's a great piece though.
Austin Rivers, all those guys are all right defensively, but they're not the truth compared to Kawhi and PG.
Yeah, like those guys are always like perennial LNBA guys.
Right.
I feel like Devin Booker, he's not going to be, he's not going to look godly like he has in these last couple series, like Dame Lillard-esque, Like I think he's gonna look a lot like Devin Booker, but I feel like that's enough for them to win. I feel like I have faith in Monty Williams to get this team to the finals, and it's the coach. I think it's gonna come down to coaching.
Right. I think whoever comes out the East is winning the championship this year.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the East is winning the championship this year.
But even if it's Atlanta?
Well, Atlanta's not coming out of the East, first of all. They'll be lucky to get out of this series. But between the Bucks, Sixers, Nets, one of those teams is winning the championship this year, in my opinion, when it comes down to it. Because these teams out West, although a lot of them are really good, they've been showing it up this year. I think this is the year of the East between that Brooklyn Nets big 3. Obviously, if they're healthy, nobody's beating them, but that's a big if at the moment.
Yeah.
And Giannis right now that Bucks team is looking really good. After round 1, they looked amazing. Looked a little off a couple games in Brooklyn, but right when they got back to Milwaukee, Drew Holiday, all defensive first team player this year. He's playing like that dude. Chris Middleton's playing like a 3rd star, and Giannis is he has no bag apparently. We've been seeing the series. He just
there's no handle,
driving to the hoop, no jump shot. But Drew Holiday is that dude right now, and if they can get past Brooklyn, I think they're winning a chip.
Yeah, but I think the only games they won right are like with injured Kyrie Irving.
No, they won a game against Kyrie and KD, right, yes. And Kyrie's not there next game, and who knows what's going to be happening with James Harden. If they could get past this team, Philly's not. I think Philly against the Bucks, that would be a great series.
Oh yeah, big time.
But I just don't know when these 2 teams come out to play a team out West. These teams are different. They got dogs, all of them. They got MVP candidates each team. KD, Giannis, Embiid. Those are three of the most
Yeah.
elite players in basketball. And
Yeah.
I think the only team that could stop one of them is maybe the Clippers.
I don't know, man. I think you're underrating the Suns just just a tad bit. Like I know they're not proven yet, but I feel like because they're not proven, they're so hungry. You know,
No, I don't know what you mean.
they're hungry. Like they got like that fire in their bellies. You know.
Okay, well, you could just say the same about the Hawks.
Yes, I
A team
could.
that's unproven, they're fire. You could say the same about the Knicks, who lost in round 1. But the thing is, they, like you said, they're unproven. Nobody has proven it in the biggest moments. Not their best two players, Devin Booker, a player who's never been in the playoffs before, nor Chris Paul, a player who's never made it out of the conference finals. So that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to crunch time, NBA finals, when you need that dude who's proven it to you year in before, KD, Kyrie, those guys.
I mean, fair enough, but I have a hunch.
Kawhi, those guys who I think are going to be walking home with the chip this year.
I have no basis for my statement,
right?
But I believe
they have been cooking this playoffs.
The Suns can win this championship, and I feel like they're going to.
Yeah, you're putting your earnings on the Suns?
No, I'm not betting any more gushers this playoff.
All right, because I don't believe in the Suns whatsoever when the time gets tough. Because every single time in Chris Paul's career, what has he proven to us? When the time gets tough,
he has bad hamstrings.
When the time gets tough, Chris Paul's the last person you want there.
Well, I mean, if you
Western Conference Finals, you don't want him there. Game 7, Chris Paul was hurt. The only time that any team had a chance at beating KD's Warriors healthy.
I mean,
Chris Paul.
That kind of says a lot. He got injured.
He got injured, but what does he do every single year when they need him most? Clippers going up against the Spurs, blow a 3-1 lead when they need Chris Paul most.
Yeah, facts.
I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, we've seen Chris Paul do it all throughout his career in the regular seasons in round 1 and 2. Time for him to prove it to us. Time for Devin Booker to prove it to us that he's a real star.
I think this is the season. I think Chris Paul is sick of all the disrespect, all the times that he's failed. You know, I think he's ready for change. You know,
disrespect. I think Chris Paul might be one of the most overrated players of all time.
Yeah, but his haters are very loud. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know, man. I think it's time for him to prove it if he wants to want to be remembered as an all-time great.
Yeah.
If he wants to, because right now he's remembered as an all-time great of our generation. But if
he's definitely
our generation. We think Steph Curry right away for point guard.
Yeah, big time. I mean, that's well deserved. I don't think a championship is going to change that either.
Yeah, but when you look back at it, is Chris Paul even the second guy of this generation? With people like Russell Westbrook?
I think he's above Russ.
People who have changed the game forever, like Russell Westbrook, someone who's an MVP, which Chris Paul has never done, all-time triple-double leader.
I think he's like the Tim Hardaway of this generation.
Who, Chris Paul?
Yeah.
And that's not saying much because Tim Hardaway is not even a top 10 point guard of all time. I mean,
I'm just saying
when you think of all-time greats, when you think of that era, it's Magic, Johnson, and then it's like, all right, there was Zeke, Isaiah, Stockton.
Well, all right, maybe Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, but Isaiah's a champion, bro.
I know, but I know what I'm saying. But like, he's not. He doesn't come like when you think of like greatest players of the '90s. Like he's not like.
Yeah, he is.
He
is. Get out. Isaiah Thomas, the person who beat Jordan, Bird, Magic, and Kareem. You did not just say Isaiah's not one of the best players of the '90s.
No,
he's
I did.
Top 5.
Hold on.
No, rerun the tape.
Just give me a second. You didn't let me finish my point. All right.
Because it was blasphemy after you said you would not consider Isaiah one of the top players of the 90s.
Top 3.
And Chris Paul's not top 10 of our generation.
You don't think so?
No, I can name 10 better players than him from our generation right now. 10 players better than Chris Paul. Braun, Curry, Kawhi, Harden. I want to put Westbrook up there, but I don't know if you want to put him up there. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan. The list just goes on and on. Dwayne Wade, multiple-time champion.
Do you think Tim Duncan and Kobe count as this generation?
They won championships in the 2010s.
Okay.
And they won championships before that. Giannis, an MVP. And I don't even know, man. Then there's just players that you could arguably put ahead of him. Dirk. Well, in my honest opinion, Dirk's way ahead of CP3 all time. Okay. Finals MVP and regular season MVP, 2 things that Chris Paul's not even close to.
Fair points.
And I don't even know, man. Then there's players that you can argue. Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis is getting to that point. And I don't even want to say this, but Dwight Howard.
Come
3-time Defensive Player of the Year, champion, All-NBA first team multiple time, known as the best center of the decade by far. I think it has to be Dwight. I think you've got to argue Dwight Howard's up there. And then there's guys even before our generation, like 2009s before that I don't even want to mention, who won championships in the 2010s, like KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. Rondo over Chris Paul all time in my opinion. Tony Parker over Chris Paul all time in my opinion. Champions, multiple time champions at the highest level and have made all-stars, all-NBA teams. But that's just my opinion.
I think you're just mad at him for
mad at him for what?
For bumping the Lakers out of the playoffs.
For averaging 9 points against the Lakers in the playoffs. I'm mad at him.
But how many assists per minute?
Probably less than one.
I'm just joking.
Over Chris Paul all time. I just can't put somebody who's never done anything in the conference finals, never stepped foot on the court in the finals, or never won an MVP. If you're a great player in this league, you are good enough to will a team to at least a finals appearance, multiple Western Conference finals appearances. Yeah. And he hasn't played, other than going against that Warriors team, he hasn't played in a stacked generation of basketball before that Warriors team. He was on a great team with one of the best big threes of our generation in Lob City. Blake and DeAndre Jordan. Jamal Crawford, 6th man of the year. J.J. Redick, one of the most elite shooters of our generation.
How old was Jamal Crawford during that?
He was still winning 6th man of the year, so that's all that counts, right?
I know, but
he was probably older, probably
like
mid-30s. Probably low 30s, but Chris Paul has been on some stacked teams. He's played with MVPs. James Harden, he still can't get it done. That's why I just can't put him ahead of some of those guys that I said before.
Yeah. I mean...
Mic drop.
I mean, yeah, like, I guess you're right.
Do you have Chris Paul in top 10 of our generation?
I mean, before, yeah, but I don't know. I gotta sleep on this. This isn't. It's a lot of information you just dropped on me.
Like I was telling Meech before the story, I think the recency bias towards Chris Paul this playoffs has been incredible. The disrespect on Devin Booker's name, he's been carrying that team, dropping a hot 45 a game. I feel like we don't fact check, but I think he's averaging the high 30s this playoffs.
Yeah, at least low 30s.
It has to be somewhere in the 30s because he's cooking your favorite player, your favorite team.
Yeah,
everywhere. And I guess it's the Chris Paul effect. But the Suns went 9-0 in the bubble last year without Chris Paul. They were starting to form into a really good team. They brought in great 3-and-D players. As much as I hate him, Jay Crowder is an amazing 3-and-D player for his contract. Mikal Bridges has turned into a stud.
Mm-hmm. I think it's all goes. I think it all goes to Monty Williams. You know, I think
Great point.
He got snubbed for Coach of the Year this year.
Right.
I think Thibs did a great job with the Knicks, but I think Monty Williams
I have to agree with Thibs, but Monty Williams was amazing, man.
It's this team that took a huge jump after Chris Paul, and the same thing happened with OKC. You know,
right.
Like I feel like just his ability to take a trash team to at least a playoff team.
But is that good enough to,
I don't know,
like, cement yourself above people like Tony Parker, who has a finals MVP, who danced against some of the biggest teams all time? Like,
I mean, you're right, I guess, but like
think about it. Tony Parker, if you're talking about talent-wise, Chris Paul takes him by miles ahead. But if you're taking a career at the end of the day, do you want Tony Parker, someone who's been an all-star, who has the All-NBA, and you have 4 rings on your finger?
I mean, I guess it depends what you value more, like
it
talent,
does.
Like talent, or because like you could say the same thing about guys like Patrick Ewing. You know what I mean? Like great talent.
Right. I don't have Patrick Ewing in my top 5 centers of all time because he doesn't have a ring. I think you have to be such an elite talent to not have a ring and be in the top 5, or you have to be at a weaker position. Like I think Charles Barkley's a top 5 power forward, even though he doesn't have the ring. But that's just because center is one of the toughest positions ever. But
True.
I know where you're coming from, man. Chris Paul, no disrespect towards you, bro.
I apologize to Isaiah Thomas, the first one.
I know. Maybe if you were talking about this Isaiah Thomas, bad boy Isaiah though. Let me just talk about this, man. Put some respect on his name.
No, those Pistons teams are one of my favorite teams. I was trying to say like Chris Paul is he's as good as a talent as Isaiah Thomas.
If you tell me top 5 players from the 90s, Zeke's easily in there for me. You too? Or no?
Yeah,
I heard what you said. I think it's Michael, Magic, and Bird. They were there in the 80s, but they still did their thing in the 90s.
Yeah, the early 90s, yeah.
We're talking about, because they were kind of in the middle of both. They weren't
straight 80s,
you could say
straight
like
90s. Like 85 to 95.
Okay, great. 85 to 95, it's obviously Michael, Magic, Larry, and then the fourth guy is Isaiah, I think.
Yeah.
Carl Malone, Stockton, the fifth guy, I don't know.
Karl Malone's a creep, but yeah.
No, we do have to agree. That man will not be talked about on this podcast.
No.
We do not give him the...
Unless he finally gets arrested.
Yeah, look up Karl Malone and
look up
underage, and that's all you have to do to know why we're not talking about this man on the podcast.
And then look up Karl Malone and Kobe Bryant's wife, which is even more greasy.
Right. And so the Jazz, speaking of Karl Malone, the Jazz are the truth. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. In my opinion, he shouldn't have won it, but he did win it by a landslide, almost doubling Ben Simmons' votes.
I feel the same way about the Jazz as I do about the Suns. I feel like they can go all the way if the chips fall in their favor.
Out west, I think the Jazz are the better team if you put Jazz Sun together, because I think Donovan Mitchell is spectacular.
I think Joe Ingles is going to win Final MVP.
I think I'm with you on the Jazz, but the only difference between the Jazz and the Sun is, granted they're battling the Clippers now, but round one, they just smacked the Grizzlies. Granted, Grizzlies won game one. But
I think that was the easier
Grizzlies
series.
in Portland. Yeah, that's true. Both those teams were out east. I think the teams out east are great. The Wizards.
Yeah,
I think they were a tough 8 seed.
Oh yeah, big
compared to the Grizzlies, but the Jazz got a break not getting the Warriors in round one. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
avoiding the Warriors in round one.
That would have been a great series.
Because people were calling Warriors to win it.
To win it all?
No, just to win the round one matchup, yeah. But because I don't think you want Steph Curry in a series at all.
No way.
No matter who you are, but
no way, no
Defensive Player of the Year, Gobert. Does he deserve it?
Yeah.
3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Is Gobert a Hall of Famer?
Of course he is.
If he retires today,
I think he's gonna win the most Defensive Player of the Years of all time. I think he needs like 5 to do it.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do that.
He might,
because the NBA has just turned into such a versatile league now, especially with somebody on the up and coming like Bam. I think he got snubbed for being a top 3 defender.
Yeah, I think Bam and Simmons are gonna get a depoy at some point in the next 5 years. But I think they might alternate. They'll give it to like the Bam 1 year and then Rudy the next, and then Simmons 1 year and then Rudy the next.
I mean, I don't know, man. They've been pretty biased with your boy the French Fry lately, but Rudy's been winning them all around.
Yeah, facts. But I'm saying like he deserves them. Like he's averaging a steal and 4 blocks.
Yeah, but at that point, it's I think that's more of a Jazz team defense award other than Gobert, because they have to trap defend offensive players to drive into the lane towards that Gobert, and I just think at the end of the day, he's not even guarding the best centers in the league. Yeah, he can't guard Joker. He can't guard AD, Embiid, and that's the only position that you can really put him on. And you could just expose Gobert so easily.
I think half his blocks are, I think I saw the stat somewhere, don't quote me on it, was half his blocks came from layups by guards.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's more of a team defensive thing.
The
team needs to force him towards Gobert. Yeah. And someone like Simmons, granted, he can't really bang out with like AD, Embiid, those guys, but he can guard the 1 through 4. Anybody in the league, 1 through 4.
Yeah. Which I mean is...
I think that's the most valuable thing in all of basketball, having somebody that can...
I think so too, but I think Rudy deserves it because he's able to execute so well.
Right. I think at the point it's a nerds award at this point. It all goes down to the numbers.
It's a good thing we're nerds.
All goes down to the numbers, because I think at the end of the day, if you have these two guys, defensive play on the line, you just want somebody to stop play.
Yeah.
One play on the line, which defender would you rather have on your team? I'm taking Ben Simmons all day long.
Yeah,
That's not what basketball is.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And I don't know. Respect to Rudy, he deserves it. But
yeah, like it's not like they're giving it to like
Draymond.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe that Draymond was still top 3 in that award somehow. I would have had Butler and Bam Adebayo in there. Even guys like Giannis in the top 3 instead of Draymond.
Yeah, I can
Butler led the league in steals.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's a good stat. Like,
and he missed a lot of games,
which is crazy.
Yep, because the shortest off season in all of sports history for the Heat.
Facts.
And Lakers. But Butler led the league in steals. Bam's one of those guys who can guard the 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Smaller guards. He's kind of...
I think Bam is like the perfect in-between Simmons and Rudy.
Yeah. Bam's kind of starting to play a lot like Anthony Davis, in my opinion.
Yeah, just like not
defensively, he's there. He could guard any position, and offensively, he can hit from all around the court. His three's been getting better.
Yeah, but his handle is nowhere near as good as it is.
Yeah, that's true. But Bam still has a lot of room to work with, I think.
Facts. And he's still wicked young. What is he, like a 4th year player?
Yeah, no doubt. I think that the MVP this year was for Joker. Deserves it, no doubt. Will he win another one before he retires? I think Really?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
I think Joker has his MVP. He's gonna go down as like one of those guys like the Dirks, KG. They got their MVP because the stars aligned perfectly that season.
I think Jokic is gonna be remembered very much like KD.
Like KD?
No, KG. My bad.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang, son. I'm gonna be like, that's one of the greats, bro.
I feel like Jokic could be like one of the best offensive players all time, just talent, like purely talent wise. You know what I mean?
Right. We've seen it for a few years, but we'll have to see how long he lasts in the league, how much of the truth he is. These European players have just been coming into the league and killing it lately.
I can't wait to see Luka's like peak.
Right.
I think Luka's gonna be in the GOAT conversation 10 years from now.
Unless he's already in his peak, we'll have to see, man. Because
I mean, even if he's already in his peak right now, it's still pretty peakful. You know what I mean?
Killing it. He is killing it, man. I need to get him a real number 2 over there.
Facts.
KP's not really the real answer.
The real playoff P.
Porzingis has been getting too much disrespect.
Yeah, I feel that.
I think granted he is always injured.
Yeah.
Always injured, but this one sad playoff performance, you can't be killing him like that, man.
I miss KP when he was in New York.
Yeah,
his Instagram when he was in New York was hilarious. He'd be like set on like a Maserati and Tim's.
Yeah, bro, he was the king of New York, bro.
I loved it.
He was running it, him and Melo.
But you won't, like, especially when Melo left and it was just him.
Yeah, they let him take over, bro. That's what I'm talking about. A good player on a bad team is not the answer to go win a championship. You shouldn't be giving up first round picks and stuff to be doing this, in my opinion.
I feel like he just looks so much better in a Knicks jersey than a Mavs jersey. You know what I mean? Like
KP, bro, he did run New York. They loved him out there until he demanded that trade. All defensive first team went for Ben Simmons, Drew Holiday at the guard positions, Draymond and Giannis at forwards, Gobert at center. And defensive second, a couple 76ers on there with Matisse Thybulle and Embiid, followed by Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, and Bam. Anything you would change there?
No. I mean, maybe Matisse for, like, Smart, but
yeah,
that's just Celtics bias. But yeah. I like Matisse. I think he deserves it. I think us passing on Romeo, I think passing on him to get Romeo Langford was the worst decision the Celtics have made in a very long time.
True. Celtics, and they have made a lot of big mistakes. So
it's one of them.
That's pretty big, man. Throw that at number 1. But no, I agree.
It's like number 1 line, Aaron Baines walk.
No, Celtics have been actually really good in the front office lately. No big mess ups. That's one thing that they have been doing great in the front office. I wouldn't say great. I think they just haven't made
in
the front office. You guys have brought in all-stars continuously. It seems like every offseason you're bringing in an all-star.
Yeah, but like the wrong all-stars.
Well, right. Well, that's bringing in some players that don't want to be there. But I know what you mean. Celtics, Kemba. One of the biggest things talked about this offseason for them. They need to do something with him. He doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, we'd be lucky.
They don't want him there.
We'd be lucky if we can like trade Kemba to like a G League team for like a bag of chips. You know what I mean?
Right. Kemba's contract's starting to look really untradeable, especially getting up there in age. No defense really out of him.
It sucks because I like Kemba a lot.
He is nice, dude, but for that contract, I don't know. I see him going to somewhere. I could see him being like a good sidekick to somebody who's not really ready to go win a championship yet.
He can. I think he can have a great career with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go out there to that'd be so bad. I feel bad for Kemba, man. He spent all his prime wasted away in Charlotte. Goes to Boston and finally catches up to him, man. The injuries, the age, everything.
So and sad.
Boston's about to send him out to another sorry franchise for the rest of his career.
I was so excited when they got him because I loved watching Kemba walk. He was my favorite guard in the league for a really long time. And then like that first year with the Celtics, he looked really good.
Right until the playoffs.
Yeah, but you know,
my biggest thing is that Celtics fans were on crack cocaine. And they thought that Kemba was better than Kyrie. I just remember that one off season, Celtics fans were parading Kemba was better than Kyrie.
He was better for the Celtics than Kyrie was.
Was he though?
For the team.
Because when Kyrie was there, y'all were in Eastern Conference Finals.
We were still
an Eastern Conference Finals team last year.
Yes, and we were still...
But a first-round exit this year.
Yes, exactly. But Kemba was injured. So
Yeah, but he still
no
played
JB,
in the series. It's not like he missed.
No Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, and you ran into one of the best teams created ever. But.
Exactly. All right? So, like this version of the Nets versus like the Warriors. Like let's like two KDs.
Oh, I'm taking this version of the Nets. If everybody has to be healthy though.
Everybody
has to be healthy.
Everybody 100% healthy. Two KDs.
Right, because Draymond wasn't winning Defensive Player of the Year awards with KD on that squad still. So you got to remember that he wasn't the Draymond that we know. And Steph Curry wasn't winning MVPs, but he was still the best guard in the league. Oh yeah. He just wasn't winning MVPs because he had KD with him. But this team, Harden and Kyrie, I think, in my opinion, just off pure talent, Harden's a better player than Steph Curry. I know you may disagree with that, but I think defensively, Harden's far superior.
They're really close.
Rebounding, I'd take Harden. And passing, I guess both of them are so equal because they just have straight superstars around them. But
yeah.
That's another interesting one. I know that's always been a debate in the league for a while, just off a pure talent standpoint, Curry or Harden. Who are you going with there? If you had
Curry, I'd have to go Curry just because his shooting numbers are just so good. You know what I mean? Yeah. His efficiency is way higher than Harden's.
Yeah, but then when I was also thinking about that, this year really hurts for Steph Curry. Like, granted, no All-Stars, but he didn't make the playoffs. He wasn't injured.
No.
He was still there, and I think Harden's taken some pretty trash teams to the playoffs before in Houston.
I mean, but
at the height of heights, I know.
Like a pure talent wise, like if we're just talking talent, like not legacy, I'm definitely taking Curry.
All right.
Just because the shooting, is like it's so valuable. He passes well. His handle's great. So probably the second best handle in the league, right next to Kyrie Irving. And then
I think Harden's handle might be better than Curry's.
They're neck and neck.
I think the only advantage I give to Steph over Harden is the shooting ability.
Yeah.
Everything else, I think I have to go for Harden. Driving, defense, just even his size to defend, his size to get to the basket. Harden, I'm a big Harden guy, but again, neither player has really proven themselves as, in my opinion, a clutch killer come playoff time. Curry's been on some great teams, but he's never really been the guy to kill you at the end of the games. He's never won the Finals MVP.
Yeah, facts.
Harden's never done that throughout his career either. Of course, he had to run into some crazy teams like Curry's Warriors, but who you taking, Nets or Warriors? Healthy.
I'd probably take the Warriors just because they're better coached. They're better they're better defensively.
Definitely better coached. Better defensively, yep.
And defense wins
Clay and Draymond, that's it.
Yeah, true. I mean, you can say Iggy too, but
yeah, Iggy's definitely down there. One of the best 3-and-D players.
Got some thick arms
in recent history. That dude used to clamp up, even back in his days in Philly. But
I think he's one of the most muscular players to ever play.
I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. But I don't know who the most muscular player is.
Like him, Semi Ojeleye.
Rookie of the Year is one of the big awards that's left. Other than like All NBA first, stuff like that. But
it's a coin toss.
It's pretty much down to two dudes. It's pretty much, do you like LaMelo? I think LaMelo had the better stat line and less amount of games.
And Denny Advio.
That dude is looking like a bust, but
yeah, big time.
And then you have guys like Edwards, who have similar stats to LaMelo. I don't think as good, but he played a lot much bigger of a season. LaMelo's team obviously a better record. Neither team made the playoffs.
I think LaMelo coming back helped him a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. Being able to come back, get some more stats towards it.
I honestly think it's like probably like a, I don't know, like a 45, 50, like 55 split.
Who are you giving your advantage to?
LaMelo, nothing crazy.
Yeah, it is tough. I have to agree with you there. But it's tough. And I understand if they give it to Edwards.
Well, I mean, I feel like LaMelo's team just had more success.
Yeah,
even though they both missed the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely Lamelo's team missed the playoffs when LaMelo wasn't there. They drastically dropped without him.
Yeah, exactly.
So it seems like he was a lot more valuable to that team. And the Timberwolves just suck.
Yeah,
to keep it a buck.
I can't wait to see that team just implode.
I know, it's like they have the talent. They have D'Lo, Cat, Anthony Edwards. Even though D'Lo and Cat barely ever play together, but they just need to get Cat out of there, and then. I don't even know, man.
Kemba for Cat?
Yeah, right. It's people like, it's like I was watching First Take, and like I'm kind of starting to be done with sports shows, man. This is where you need to get your sporting information from, is us, because people like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, us and other sports podcasts.
Yeah, hit us up, man. Sports podcast, sports YouTube, some of the best place to get your info, man.
Yeah, don't
Unbiased.
Forget ESPN, forget
They're not going
FS1.
Yeah, they don't have their major market, but Stephen A. Smith has just been saying some crazy stuff recently, let alone not getting into the Celtics, Brad Stevens hiring, but
yeah,
when he talked about Donovan Mitchell being the best Jazz player of all time, he's like in his third, fourth year.
He's definitely a top 5 Jazz player of all
Yeah,
time.
but you can't forget about dudes like Karl Malone who have MVPs, and John Stockton is the all-time leader in steals and assists.
I think John Stockton is the best of all, like, Jazz of all time.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, but Stockton and Malone are miles ahead of Donovan Mitchell at this point, someone who's never made it to a conference finals. But he also said that he hears that Cat is going to be going to Portland. But I just see no way that Portland can make a trade for Cat without giving up Lillard, and that trade makes no sense for either team.
I mean, unless like they send like CJ and like a gaggle of players.
But why would the Timberwolves do that if you already have D'Lo and Edwards, a better version of CJ and a younger version of CJ?
To apologize to Cat for for wasting 5 years of his life.
Yeah, but at that point, I just don't see there be any real way for Portland to make that happen, to acquire someone like of Cat stature, somebody who's a top 5 center in the league.
We'll see what J-Lo does, you know.
They don't even own them, bro. I think the sale didn't go through with Alex Rodriguez.
Oh, you think so?
No, it didn't go through. And I just don't know. But like we were saying, man, big markets are loved on ESPN, FS1. They don't know. When it comes down to it, I hate to go at it like this too, but even dudes like Shaq on TNT.
I know, right?
They don't know all the players. He didn't even know who Christian Wood was. Christian Wood, one of the biggest up-and-coming talents in our league for the last 2 seasons. It's not even like he came out of nowhere. Last year, he was hooping on Detroit, and Shaq didn't even know who he was.
It's not like he's Malachi Flynn, you know?
Yeah. And I'm just like, Shaq, you do this for a living, man. You're on TV every single night, and he's the star of a franchise. How do you not know who he is?
Didn't he not know who DeAndre Ayton was like last season?
If you said that, I wouldn't doubt it.
It was either him or Chuck.
It's kind of sad sometimes when they play who he play for. Like, they'll be putting up pretty obvious players that they'll be getting wrong.
Like,
I know. And I guess it's all about entertaining with those guys. I love those guys.
They're the most fun to watch on TV.
I could watch them. I love Ernie. I love Kenny. And that show is just amazing. But sometimes watching them, I'm like, you guys really need to, like, watch some NBA YouTube or something, my man, because you don't know what's going on. But
watch Thinking Basketball.
For the playoffs left, Jazz Clippers, that series is a banger. Who's coming out on top to move up to play the Suns?
I think the Jazz are going to pull through.
I'm going with the Clippers. As much as I hate them, I think the Clippers got it this season. I think this is the year that they finally prove it. Everybody said that they weren't going to do it.
I don't believe in Ty Lue.
You don't?
No.
That's the thing. How much coaching does he really do, though?
He looks like an iguana.
But Kawhi down 2-0 again. He finally got that software update, the Donovan Mitchell software update that he got for Luka last time.
He updated his firmware.
Yeah, so now he knows how to guard that, and we'll see. Donovan Mitchell still has his numbers against him, but I got Clippers in 7.
Got Kawhi, got that new dunk package.
Yeah, that was nice that he did yam on him, but
I think Kawhi's had like 3 like season-ending dunks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Kawhi's the man, dude, and he doesn't even know what he even does after the dunk, dude. He probably doesn't rewatch it on ESPN, Facebook.
No, he said he
Instagram.
doesn't. He said he's like, I don't watch it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. After that dunk, he probably looks up on the jumbotron, and that's the last time he'll see that dunk.
Yeah, and then he probably doesn't even do that. He probably just looks straight and thinks about going like to karate class.
Yeah, he's wondering what kind of seasoning his wife's putting on the pork chops at the free throw line, stuff like that. Nets Bucks, who's coming out on top this series? Probably the most interesting series. This is gonna pretty much. I think if the Nets can come out of this, they win the chip.
You think so?
If the Nets can come out of this series, they win the chip. Because if they come out of this series, I think Kyrie's coming back healthy. James is expected to be back healthy after this round. And I don't see anybody beating a healthy team.
You know, I never hear people just calling him straight up James.
James? I know, because I feel like when you say James, it's like you also have LeBron too. So you kind of two of the most important players in the league. You can mix up LeBron, James, Harden.
Mm-hmm. And Jimmy Butler. His name's James Butler.
I think you're just making that up.
Probably.
His name is Jimathan.
Jimathan?
Yeah, no.
Jim Free?
So, Nets Bucks, who you got, man? Who's coming out of this series?
You know, I want to say Bucks so bad. Yeah, I hate both those teams with a passion. But probably Nets.
Yeah, you're going Nets?
Yeah. But
I'm going Nets, too.
I think Philly can give them, can rough them up a little bit.
I know. They don't have that answer for Embiid.
No, they don't. They don't have that. I mean, and also like it's be their toughest defensive challenge.
I don't know, because Milwaukee's really tough defensively too.
Yeah, but they don't have like three all defensive guys on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they do have somebody who wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
probably. If you want to talk Giannis or Simmons, the better defender, I don't know.
But I'm saying
I say Simmons, but even Drew Holiday, that dude will stick you. 2 All NBA first defenders.
Facts. I mean, at the guard level, I feel like Philly has more to throw at Kyrie and Harden.
Right.
You know what I mean, like with Matisse, Simmons,
Yeah, but
even Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, true. Tyrese is actually underrated, but in the last series out east, is obviously a going 2, tied 2-2. If Philly can even get out of this.
Facts.
With the Hawks, who you got moving on this series?
I mean, obviously Philly.
Yeah, I got Philly too. The Hawks are having a hell of a season, though.
I hope the Hawks go far. You know,
this season's been an absolute win for the Hawks.
Yeah, I know. And they want, and now Brad Stevens wants to hire the trash coach that.
Right. Yeah, that's. I don't know, man. Celtics about to hire. It's gonna be interesting who they hire. Frank Vogel's about to be your coach next year. Lakers gonna fire Frank Vogel.
You think so?
I wouldn't be mad at it, man. Bringing Jason Kidd.
I mean, it's not his fault that you guys lost this season.
No, I know, but absolutely, he's just. I'm not calling for Frank Vogel to be fired, but his coaching in the playoffs was not too good. Playing Montrez like 5 minutes a game.
Look what he's working with.
And he was working with some good things. He wouldn't play Montrez more than like 10 minutes a game.
I mean,
you got to give Trez some minutes if you're giving Andre Drummond run, if you're giving
Marc
but
if he keeps getting cooked in the pick and roll.
But he wasn't. If he's only playing 6 minutes, you can't even see what he's giving you. If Andre,
true, I guess so.
And you just have to work out better lineups of. You have to get more shooting on the floor at some times. And I just don't think that at the end of the day, Jason Kidd was brought in, I think, to be groomed for this position of head coach.
Yeah.
And I think Frank Vogel, he's had his time here. Jason Kidd knows the squad well. And how much of an impact do coaches really have on LeBron-led teams?
None at all.
That's been like a big argument the whole career, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either. Like LeBron has a lot of pull for who coaches and who doesn't, and like I feel like just and he has obviously he's the lead playmaker, he kind of runs things,
Right. My biggest thing that I want to push for Jason Kidd, I know we don't have the ammunition to go after someone like Dame Lillard, but Dame Lillard wants to play under Jason Kidd. If Dame Lillard said, "I demand the trade to LA for the Lakers, and that's the only team I want to go to," they'd be able to make it happen. It'd be able to happen if Dame Lillard.
Who would you get rid of though?
It'd be able to make it happen between picks, players. If Dame Lillard really said, "I'm only going to one team to play under one person. If you trade for me, I won't play for you," then it's the player empowerment era. I feel like it's gotta happen. And if they don't trade him, Dame Lillard, I don't know if he's that like that. Portland's been giving him a great career, but he could just take his money and retire. All day.
At like 30?
Yeah, I'm not saying this is obviously not going to happen, but in the player empowerment era, if I really want to make a big 3 in LA, and I'm thinking that Frank Vogel's impact is not that great. Granted, he's won a championship within 2 years, but this playoff run with just his rotations, I wasn't a fan of it. Bringing someone like Jason Kidd who's familiar with the team, who the players like, and Dame Lillard wants to play for Jason Kidd. Can a trade happen? I don't know. Frankie V did go with the gabagool, but maybe it's time to go.
All right, not Nana Sauce is going to get him too far anymore.
I know, we're going to send... and then you already know, Brad will be on that to pick up Frankie V real quick. Champion. And then you guys are running...
Yeah, but I know, but champion with an asterisk. You know what I mean? Champion with LeBron.
I know, Frankie V would not be the guy for Boston. Boston needs a former player, in my opinion. Obviously, check out our last podcast if you haven't yet. Strictly Boston playoff edition.
Yeah.
We'll have to see, man. This offseason is going to be interesting. I love the offseason.
Yeah, me too.
One of the most entertaining
parts. It sucks because there's no basketball, but it's cool.
Drama.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's always one teammate that gets his heart broken, that starts a new beef every offseason.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see who it is.
I know, when Joker demands a trade to Dallas. Him and Luka. Luka's teaming up with Joker or Giannis sometime in his career, I'm thinking. Before he retires, Luka's going to team up with either Joker or Giannis.
Or both.
That'd be probably the best big 3 in NBA history.
All European.
the Euro Big Three. If that happens, because I think Luka's clearly going to get an MVP sometime before his career. That'd be
Are there
3
any
MVPs.
good British players?
British?
Yeah.
Not that I know of, no.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Like, no, like English. Like, I know, like, like, there's plenty of hoopers from Australia, but at that point, no, I don't know. So I guess that's a question of the podcast. Let us know. Best British hoopers out there.
Yeah, definitely. Hit the comments if you're listening on YouTube.
Yeah, let us know if you know any British YouTubers. I mean, YouTubers.
Do it. Whatever.
If you're a British YouTuber, rapper, and NBA player all in one, hit us up. We got you first.
You can comment gibberish on the YouTube. We just need engagement. Just
yeah,
please.
Hit us up. We'll come back to you guys with more NBA content when the playoffs continues. Off season's rolling up. NFL season's coming up soon. Loki dropping.
Oh yeah.
Everything, man. Stay contacted with us. Stay up to date.